In the heart of the ancient Dyson station, the epicenter of interstellar diplomacy and knowledge, the conclave of the cosmic accord convened once more. Orbiting the supermassive black hole at the center of the galaxy, the station stood as a beacon of unity amidst the swirling chaos of the cosmos. From here, representatives of countless species had met over the millennia, striving to preserve peace in an ever-fracturing galaxy. The conclave's meeting chamber was an awe-inspiring testament to that unity, a circular hall large enough to accommodate delegates from hundreds of worlds. It was carved from a single asteroid, smoothed and shaped by long-lost technologies, and reinforced with materials far beyond the comprehension of modern science. Though ageless, the room held a weight of history that even the youngest species could feel upon entering, a reminder of the many crises faced and overcome. Today, the room buzzed with attention rarely seen in these diplomatic meetings. Normally a place of calm discourse, the chamber hummed with apprehension. Standing at the center of the chamber, beneath the swirling, holographic projection of the galaxy, was Orvath, the chair of the accord and a being of profound mystery. Its translucent form shimmered with energy, flowing like liquid light, constantly shifting between a solid shape and a radiant cloud. Orvath was one of the firstborn, an ancient species that had witnessed the very birth of stars, and it was said to hold knowledge from beyond the bounds of time itself. Around Orvath stood the representatives of the galaxy's most powerful civilizations. Each was a sovereign ruler, diplomat, or delegate from a unique species, and together they made decisions that would affect the fate of the entire galaxy. They were the protectors of peace, the preservers of civilization, and yet today, they faced a threat that made even the oldest among them tremble. The Oblivion Veil has stirred once more, Orvath announced in a voice that resonated through the chamber like a deep, cosmic hum. Its form pulsed with light as it spoke, casting shadows on the gathered representatives. A force long thought dormant now threatens the very fabric of our galaxy. At those words, a ripple of shock moved through the room. Whispers spread like wildfire among the delegates, and many of the younger representatives exchanged worried glances. The Oblivion Veil was not just a legend or a myth, it was a nightmare made real. Thousands of cycles ago, it had appeared near the galactic abyss, a rift in space-time where dark matter and chaotic energies swirled. Entire systems had been consumed by it before the firstborn, and the precursor civilizations had managed to seal it away. But that seal had come at a great cost, and no one believed it could ever break. Until now. The chamber, once filled with soft murmurs, grew eerily silent as the gravity of the situation settled in. Orvath continued, its light dimming slightly as if burdened by the weight of its own words. Several frontier worlds near the abyss have already gone silent. Our long-range probes have detected disturbances, massive fluctuations of dark energy. These are the early signs of the Veil's reawakening. The Xyric emissary, Zoltyr, a towering insectoid creature with a gleaming chitinous exoskeleton, clicked its mandibles in agitation. The Xyric swarm had long been known for their militaristic approach to threats, and Zoltyr embodied that mindset. Its many compound eyes glistened as it spoke in a voice translated by the chamber's communication system into a sharp, precise tone. The swarm will not be caught unprepared. We have begun mobilizing our fleets. The Oblivion Veil will be met with overwhelming force. Across the room, the ethereal figure of Varen Latter, the seraphim diplomat, raised a delicate hand. Her shimmering form, with wings of translucent light, exuded calm. The seraphim were a species that transcended the material world, their connection to the astral fabric a higher plane of existence making them highly attuned to cosmic disturbances. Her voice, like the sound of wind chimes in a distant dream, contrasted sharply with Zoltyr's aggressive stance. Violence will not solve this problem, Varen latter said softly but firmly. The seraphim have seen the threads of fate unraveling, and we have studied the veil for eons. It is not merely an enemy to be fought. It is a force, a cosmic imbalance. To strike it with brute force could accelerate its spread. We must first understand it. Kal, the representative of the warlike Krogan Empire, let out a low, rumbling growl. The massive, armored figure, clad in spiked black battle armor, was a stark contrast to the serene seraphim. His eyes, glowing red beneath his helmet, were full of barely contained fury. The time for talk is over, he boomed. We should have eradicated the veil when we had the chance. Now it threatens us all. The Krogan fleets are ready. We will crush this threat with all our might. Orvath raised a glowing hand, and the room fell silent once more. The veil is not a foe to be defeated by violence alone, Kal. Its nature is beyond our conventional understanding of physics and reality. It is an anomaly, a rift between dimensions, a tear in the very fabric of space-time. To strike it without understanding could unravel more than just the abyss, it could unravel the galaxy itself. At this, Captain Alia Reeves of the Terran Republic stepped forward. Humanity was a relatively new member of the Cosmic Accord, having only recently earned their place among the galaxy's great powers. But despite their youth as a species, humans had quickly proven themselves capable of both diplomacy and bravery. Alia's presence here was a testament to that. Clad in the crisp uniform of the Terran Space Command, she had a reputation for being calm under pressure, and her sharp, dark eyes were focused as she spoke. If I may, Alia began, her voice carrying across the room with a calm authority. Humanity has only recently come into contact with the technologies and knowledge of the Accord, but we have our own strengths. We've faced threats in our own history, threats that seemed impossible to overcome. Yet we adapted. We found ways to turn the impossible into a path forward. If we can combine our ingenuity with the wisdom of the Accord, perhaps there is another way. Beside her stood Dr. Ilya Moreno, a leading scientist from the Terran Republic, and one of the brightest minds of her generation. Ilya had been instrumental in deciphering the ancient star maps that led humanity to this very point. She nodded at Alia's words, then stepped forward herself. The Oblivion Veil, Ilya said, her voice thoughtful and precise, operates on principles that defy everything we know about physics. It feeds on dark matter, but it also interacts with what the ancients referred to as the astral fabric, a deeper layer of reality. If we can understand the relationship between the veil and the astral fabric, we might be able to close it, perhaps even reverse its effects. Varen latter turned her glowing gaze toward Ilya, her translucent wings shifting slightly. The seraphim have long studied the astral fabric, she said. We believe it is the foundation of all realities. If the veil is interacting with it in such a way, then stabilizing the fabric could indeed be the key to stopping its spread. Zoltyr clicked its mandibles again. The swarm will assist. Our fleets are numerous, and we will provide protection for any scientific operations within the veil's perimeter. Kal growled but nodded reluctantly. The Krogan will lend our strength as well. But I warn you, if this goes wrong, we will not hesitate to strike. Orvath's form shimmered as it considered their words. A united effort will be required. The Accord must pool its knowledge, its technology, and its strength if we are to confront the Oblivion Veil. We shall form a task force, one that combines the unique abilities of each species present. Alia exchanged a glance with Ilya, feeling the weight of the moment. This was no ordinary mission, this was a battle for the very survival of the galaxy. The task ahead of them was monumental, but it was also exhilarating. For the first time in humanity's history, they stood not as outsiders, but as equals among the stars. Orvatha's voice filled the chamber once more. This task force will venture into the heart of the abyss, to the very edge of the veil itself. There, you will study its properties and attempt to stabilize the astral fabric. But be warned, this journey will not be without peril. The abyss is home to forces we cannot yet comprehend, and those who enter may not return. The delegates stood in silence, the weight of the decision pressing down on them all. They were faced with an existential threat, a force that could consume the galaxy if left unchecked. But they were also faced with an opportunity to unite in a way that had never been done before, to bring together the strengths of a dozen species and face the unknown as one. The holographic galaxy above them spun slowly, stars flickering like distant flames, a reminder of the vastness of the cosmos and the fragility of life within it. Each star represented a world, a civilization, a future that could be lost if they failed. But it also represented hope that, united, they could overcome even the greatest of threats. As the meeting drew to a close, the representatives of the Accord began to make their preparations. Fleets would be mobilized, ancient knowledge would be unearthed, and scientists from across the galaxy would come together to confront the Oblivion Veil. It was a race against time, but it was also a moment of profound unity. Captain Alia Reeves and Dr. Ilya Moreno left the chamber with a sense of purpose. They had been chosen to lead humanity's efforts in this great endeavor, and they